Hey guys, Bex Weir, roadtoruta.com. I usually don't comment on silver lately because nothing new, but we do have something new in the silver world. Very exciting. One of the very biggest silver riggers. Looks like they're selling their silver business. Scotiabank, the Scotiabank Bank, Mull's sale of gold trading unit, sources say. Yes, the gold trading unit and the silver trading unit are together in one. So they're just going to say gold because they don't want to call any attention to their silver short position. Probably a smart thing to do. It's coming from Reuters, so they're in on the what to publish and what not to publish. But Bank of Canada's Bank Nova Scotia, Bank of Nova Scotia, is exploring options for its gold business Scotiabank, including a possible sale of the world's oldest gold trader. Three sources familiar with the matter said on Wednesday. Financial Times reported earlier on Wednesday that Scotiabank had made a decision to sell the business following a massive money laundering scandal centered on a U.S. refinery that involved smuggled gold from South America. Highly doubtful that's why they're selling. It was said J.P. Morgan had been appointed to oversee the sale. Well, there you go. There you have it. J.P. Morgan overseeing the sale of one of the largest short position holders, market riggers out there. Scotiabank said it would not comment on the rumors and market speculation. One of the sources said a review of Scotiabank's future had been underway for several months. Another source said it had been seeking a buyer for up to a year and was likely to shrink the business if a sale is not completed. That means shrinking their short position. Don't you love how, one source said, and then another source said, and then another source said, this is a plant article, there's a reason for it, and I do think they are leaving the gold and silver business, but I think it's more because they know that they could lose their entire company if silver or gold goes moonshot. The source spoke on condition of autonomy to discuss the confidential process. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Scotiabank is one of London's main gold trading banks with a history dating back to the 17th century. It was acquired by Scotiabank from Standard Chartered, another criminal bank, in 1997, and the Canadian bank has since it's expanded its operations. The Financial Times, citing market sources, everything's third-party market sources, said this. Ridiculous. Reported rumors that Chinese buyers were key targets of the Scotiabank sale, so they can match the Chinese longs to the shorts. Scotiabank, which has the biggest foreign presence of any Canadian bank, is focusing its international strategy on the Pacific Alliance, a Latin American trade bloc comprising Mexico, Peru, Chile, and Colombia. All four are huge silver producers. Scotiabank edged up 0.1% to Canadian $80 and at the Toronto Exchange. What does it all mean? It means there's something happening in the silver world. Yes, they don't speak specifically to silver, but we all know that there's a lot of gold out there and there's very little silver. Silver's running out, so I think this is all about silver. It is a silver gold position, although they would never say it. And it's what they don't say that's the most important thing in these types of articles. Anyway, let's take a look. I haven't looked at this in a while. This is the OCC derivatives book. It always lags. This is as of when was this? Hold on, let me get this. The date is always important. And you notice they put the silver derivatives at the very end of the report. Third quarter 2016. And yes, it always lags like a year. Ridiculous. But it is helpful because it does say which banks are the players and which are have the potential for doing something bad or having something bad happen to them. So here we go. Silver is listed under other precious metals, precious metal maturity. Gold is listed with the foreign exchanges. Why? Because it's such a huge market to hide everything, obviously. But here we have the silver precious metal maturity. Now these are derivatives in precious metals, meaning derivatives. Basically, it's other than gold, so it's silver. It's not copper. That's seen as industrial. So it's platinum and maybe palladium, but probably just platinum and silver. So we're looking at J.P. Morgan and Citibank right there, the top two as usual. Goldman Sachs has 0. Bank of America has 0. Most others have 0. Talk about just completely criminal. So J.P. Morgan, 21 billion in silver derivatives. Citibank, 13 billion. We know J.P. Morgan has a lot of silver. Physical silver to cover some of their shorts, but 21 billion, if you do the math, about 3 billion ounces of silver today. And you're not going to get 3 billion ounces of silver anywhere. That's about half the total silver that's ever been mined, and most of that silver is long gone in the junk heaps of the world. You know, silver is cut into little tiny pieces and stuck in cell phones and flat screen TVs and in solar panels. So most of that silver can't come back. So 3 billion ounces is ridiculous. They used 2.5 billion in the Manhattan Project to make the first atom bomb, and that was like the reason the government and the military were allowed to rig the markets for so long. You can check out my work on that. Look at go to roadtoroot.com. Just do a search for Manhattan Project, and you'll find all that silver information. But Citibank, I think, is pure. That would be a naked short, I believe, because I don't think they have any physical. So mainly because of what Ted Butler's work, you know, he scans all the places you can see physical silver deliveries, like the COMEX and the LBMA, places where and the export data, and he doesn't see Citibank's name anywhere. He sees J.P. Morgan everywhere. So J.P. Morgan is a player in the physical silver side, which would make sense since they're an agent of the U.S. government. Anyway, interesting note that just those two banks have $33 billion worth of silver derivatives. And if you add every other bank in the world, you're 9.8. So total for commercial banks. This might be just in the U.S. around 43 billion. I think that's just in the U.S. in silver derivatives, 43 billion. A huge number, ridiculous number in derivatives. Here's an interesting thing. This is the quarter before. There was only 31 billion. So we went from 40, or that's 1 year before. So this will go back to 2015. This is September of 2016. This is June of 2000. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, this is the next quarter. So here we have it jumped from 31 million in June to 43 million in September of 2016. Huge. I mean, that's a big number. That's a big jump. That's a lot of manipulation, my friends. It's right there for all to see. And again, these numbers lag. This is the latest that the OCC has put out. It's for June of 2016. And if you go back, you can find this stuff right here. And let's see. Let's get the latest report. Oh, see, I missed it. 2017 is what I'm looking for. There we go. So this is it. This is the latest. This was probably June of 2017. You got to scroll to the bottom and see where we are on the silver rigging. There's gold rigging. And there we have JP. Oh, Citibank. Look at that. Why did they get put first? Wow. Here's the deal. Citibank has overcome JP Morgan as the U.S.'s largest derivative holder with $51 trillion in derivatives, and JP Morgan has 50. And Goldman is 40 and B of A is 22. That's interesting because JP Morgan is working directly for the federal government. Citibank is working directly for the bad guys, in my opinion. We'll see what happens with this. But still, you can see that JP Morgan has a lot more silver derivatives at $20 billion worth of silver derivatives, and Citibank has gone up to $10 billion. So it's 30 billion, overall 42 billion. Really interesting. Clearly, look at Bank of America's jumping in there with 31 million in silver derivatives. Wonder what's going on with that and why. It's probably a specific deal, but who knows? So a lot of craziness going on in silver, and there's also the Bureau of International. Wait, let me grab the site here. The BIS. Bureau of International Settlements has their silver derivative statistics, but if you look at this, September 17th of 2017 was the last time it was updated, and you go to commodity contracts right here, and so it was updated just in September, but all they have is up to 2016, so it's kind of useless. But you can see other precious metal, that's the silver, 52 billion as of the second half of 2016. So at the end of the year 2016, it was 52, and that's globally supposedly. But I don't trust any figures, so it's kind of a moot point. But this was the big news that Scotiabank, Scotiabank is closing down their operations right at the same time that everything's about to fall apart. Very interesting. Yes, go buy silver with both feet and both hands. Anything under $20 is a screaming steal as the manipulation ends, as the COMEX shut down and the IMF, not the IMF, the LBMA shut down. We're going to see silver starting to hit the moonshot. But here's the problem. The only place that silver prices are determined are the COMEX and the LBMA. There's no other physical silver market. People say Shanghai, but no, it's a futures and options market. So, and COMEX doesn't even say it's not a physical market, but there is a physical component, a delivery component. So we will see where we go. Again, craziness in silver. Silver is one of those things you can't even look at it. You just got to sit and wait for the bad guys to go away, and hopefully they will. And silver will be traded freely very soon. So go grab your silver, get your cryptos in hand, and ready to ride out the insanity that's coming over the next few weeks. It's going to be fun. It's Weir, Roto-Rooter.com. Make sure you like this video, send it to your friends, post it on your website, all that fun stuff, and get the word out. I'll talk to you later.